Black Condor and Phantom Lady have a couple of the more revealing costumes in DC Universe. Both those characters actually started off life as Quality Comics characters, debuting in the early 1940s in the Golden Age. Lots of the characters there were rocking some pretty revealing costumes. Phantom Lady has had a couple of versions, one that's famous or infamous depending on how you look at it, and that's per Fox Feature Syndicate days. It was directly referenced by Frederick Wortham for the Selection of the Innocent and mentioned in the Senate hearings that would lead to the Comics Code. Specifically, it's the cover from Phantom Lady 17. Never forget. It's a certified scandalous classic. Well, those two characters would find themselves together on the same team decades later. By this time as part of the DC Universe, and they would be the Freedom Fighters. They would debut in 1973 in Justice League 107, Crisis on Earth X, where they were part of a group of heroes fighting Nazis on an Earth where the Axis had won World War II. Man in the High Castle vibes. In 108, the team, well, mostly Red Tornado, toppled the fascist and by this time computer or AI controlled regime. There was even a mecha Hitler, and yes, it got punched. However, in 1976, the Freedom Fighters got their own comic series, and would open with the migraine from Earth X to Earth 1. Their first adventure had been a JLA-JSA team-up, saying that after 108, their world just got better and they weren't needed there anymore. Just go with it. Upon arriving on Earth 1, the team would be mistaken for criminals and they would go through it. But there's this one joke in issue 1 that really amuses me. It's when the distress signal goes off, Black Condor and Phantom Lady are out shopping, and so they instantly try to get into it by disrobing. They have their costumes underneath, but it does lead to some funny lines. Land's sakes, Edgar, look, they're stripping. Isn't that streaking fad over? They've got costumes on, Blanche. This joke does still work today, but it would have an added layer in the 70s, because at this time they were coming off of a streaking fad. It was largely concentrated on college campuses, mostly male, and kind of a frat thing, so it seemed. It really peaked in late 1973 through 1974, but Drew Lobb's discussion made a pop culture impact. There's even a song called The Streak by Ray Stevens. President Nixon made a streaking joke when asked about why his hair was going gray. He said, "They call that streaking." Some scholars even linked this to hearkening the end of radical protests from the 60s. Others just think it's a bit of fun, but the point is that it was very much something that would have been in the public consciousness at the time. Now, even without that, the joke still lands with a kind of are they exhibitionists angle. In Phantom Lady's case, maybe. In the Black Condor's case, probably not. He was raised by condors and they probably just didn't teach him shame. He did learn to fly though, so trade-offs. Also, it is just nice confirmation that they are indeed just wearing those under their clothes all the time. And that means for Black Condor when he is being a senator, which makes me smile. Actually, Sandra Knight is a senator's daughter too. There's lots of connections between those two. That's already more connections than people need for most ships. Let's go. Later legacy versions of those characters would kind of have a not sort of romance thing. It didn't go anywhere. Anyway, that's just an interesting little meta layer to a joke that I wanted to tell you about. And what are some of your favorite meta jokes in comics?